Hello, everybody. I think it was like tweaking. But I'm gonna show what I believe is the best stealth build in Payday 3, or at least what the best stealth, or for at least the beta, or at least what it could look like. I'm going to explain why. Um, there are other perks that I will say that I'll definitely like throw in and be like, this is probably really good, and this can be really good. But in my opinion, it's not the ideal in a sense. And I'm gonna I guess show what I'm using. So I have base Infiltrator. This just whenever you pick a lock, you either gain or refresh rush, and it's really nice because when you pair that with quick fingers, it essentially just makes every single lock pick just one. Like if you hit the skill check, you just immediately open the door. The next group of skills I am running is base Grifter, which is if you're in 1 meter of an employee, you gain rush, and rush ties back into being able to pick locks and continue keeping rush. Then the second perk that I'm running on this same perk deck is or tree, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is social engineering. So as long as you have rush, you can do illegal actions in front of people and they just won't care. And it's very well, except security. It's very nice. This perk is very nice. I've used it quite a bit. This is probably the one perk. Well, actually no, this is the second perk that I get the most use out of. The other perks in this tree are also pretty fucking good, except for maybe open mic, because I feel like answering radio is 50% faster. Sure, it's convenient, but I don't think it's like super necessary. And then slippery, I feel like this can be really good because you can like trigger a surge and just fuck up with all of like the guards' like movement patterns. Like they become unpredictable, but then they kind of like if you're speed running, if you're like running through really quickly, you could potentially get a lot of use out of this. And if you're playing solo, you can absolutely get a lot of use out of this just by lockpicking your own cuffs. Only problem is it's like a one and done type of situation, so that's kind of why I don't have it grabbed. And then walk the walk. If you have rush, cameras can't detect you. I mean, these two really go like hand in hand, and I would love to run this, but I think social engineering is better than walk the walk because this just lets you be able to perform illegal actions, and I'll say in a second why I don't believe this is absolutely necessary. Because it's when you have rush, guards will still see you, and you can't do illegal like you can still, if you're doing an illegal action, then the camera will still like detect you. So this perk can be good, but I think the brother or the sister perk, whatever you want to call it, social engineering is significantly better. Now on the last skill tree that I'm using is hacker. Hacker, I feel like, is very simplistic, and I feel like a lot of people well, you've seen it if you've seen the Payday trailer because they overload the device. But this is a very simple perk deck, and I think it's very important. Yeah, important. Essentially, when you hack a camera, you gain a runtime. I have this aced. This is the only skill tree that I have aced. When it comes to stealth, this is like the only tree so far that I feel like is really deserving of ace, because ace just gives you one additional runtime. Now 2 runtimes, that's essentially what you get for just looking into a camera. That is really useful because of secure loop. Now secure loop is a very nice perk because essentially for every runtime you can just loop a camera. And when you loop a camera, it's as if nothing is wrong. So entire areas that are like super duper overpowered, or or a trouble to get through, not even overpowered though, what am I talking about? Areas that are like a trouble to get through, you could completely just lock down. Like upstairs, if you had 2 people, like one person, even if they just ran normal loop with normal hacker, like using those 2 skill perks, that is the entire upstairs just hacked. Like you could literally run around there and you won't even have to worry about the cams. Now if you have 2 people running secure loop and aced hacker, that's 4 cams you could log. So you could lock the entirety of the upstairs, and then you could lock like one camera from the downstairs. So when they bring the guy from upstairs to downstairs, like the executive, it just becomes significantly easier because and you keep the pager. Like you don't even have to really worry about killing that guard. So if you wanted to kill the roaming guard upstairs to make it a little bit easier to bring down the executive, you could. And then the other perks in this tree, Alliance Breach, I feel like this can be good. I feel like a lot of people kind of overlook lures, but I don't put it above anything else. Rooted Ping, this is like an interesting one. I think if you didn't want to run Hacker Aced, or not Hacker Aced, if you don't want to run fuck, what was it? Oh yeah, if you didn't want to run like marking perks, like if you don't want to, like, you could just use Rooted Ping and mark a guard, and that guard's like in location will pretty much just be like permanent. Stay marked for 5 seconds. So like I feel like this could be really useful on that one camera that's looking at the staircase, but I feel like that's also situational. So you could like secure loop, or actually no, because you could only use because I think secure loop and rooted ping work like against each other. You can't secure loop and have rooted ping on the same camera. So I think if you didn't want secured loop, you could go for rooted ping. I think that is like a perfectly fair trade. And then you can have like normal cameras, but they're also marking guards now. So either it's like you can make you and your crew invisible, or you can make the enemy or the guards visible. So I feel like if you wanted to switch secure loop for rooted ping, you could. I don't know how effective it would be, but you definitely could. Glitch protocol, I haven't really used this ability. From what it sounds like, it seems like it could be really fucking good, because you could just interrupt like guards. Like if you wanted to speedrun it, like I'm thinking if you maybe put in slippery with fucking like glitch protocol, like these two perks can probably work very well, because if you get in the search state, they're gonna constantly be searching for you. So you could just glitch protocol the first time to get out, and then the second time you could slippery them, or you use slippery to get out of the cuffs, and you could kind of just like mess with the AI pathing. And then the last one is signal clutch. I don't think this is a bad ability. Honestly, this is probably one of the more useful abilities. If I down a guard that's like over here, but I'm over here, you could just, as long as you could see it, you could activate it. So that's a pretty decent ability. Other skill trees that I absolutely think would be like useful, probably the very last skill tree, the CQC specialist. If you were able to have this aced, well, not aced, if you just put the base that whenever you do a takedown, you gain rush, and you could either take down or shoot the officer. But there's another perk that works really well. This is like perfectly fine. Groundskeeper, performing them 20% faster. And then I think is it Savage Takedown. This could help you. Like you could pair these two perks and they'd be pretty helpful. And then pressure points. So if you were to like kind of speed run, just knocking like say cams out, so then just like getting the surge, you could use this. So when they do analyze someone, they don't immediately see that they're dead. All the civilians would get intimidated around you, and then like you'd get your refresh stack. And then cover up. These I think are the two reasons you'd probably want this, because actually, oh, you don't even need, right? From what I recall, these last skill trees you could just access. So I think you'd probably just want this very last perk right here. This is a pretty good ability. I'm like thinking of other perks. I think this entire skill tree is really good for Loud, the negotiator, but that's not what we're talking about right now. I'm just kind of trying to think right now of other perks that like you would want to run it instead. But I'm thinking, like, right now it seems like this is like the best you're gonna get, I think. Oh, I unequipped. Wait, what the fuck did I unequip? Oh, I unaced that. Okay. I think this is honestly the best you're gonna get, and I'm gonna go into like an overkill match just to kind of show and explain what I mean. I don't want to be in a group with people because I don't intend on actually completing it. I just completed an overkill run. If you want to look at that live stream, you can go around like 9 minutes back, and you could see the full run. Alright, sorry, I'm probably gonna cut that because that was a pretty fucking long loading screen. But I'm gonna go into overkill, and I'm going to pretty much be showing what you can do with this. I'm not gonna be completing this heist because I don't really care to complete the heist. Okay, so you see rush. That's a rush stack immediately just from me spawning in because I was close to a civilian.
A lot of guards on patrol.
So
keep an eye out.
This can become incredibly convenient because like you could have a guard look at you and you lockpick faster than they detect you. I think that is like a perfect example of what exactly you can do. And then lockpicking refreshes the cooldown. So you're like very safe on lockpick unless like they directly look at you. And you have like a base speed boost that helps a little bit with like just running around a little bit faster. I also have the lightest armor on, so I'm gonna be zooming a little bit. But as long as you're near civs, which you can, you get nearby, or you get that speed boost like really easily, and you keep the speed boost. I kind of want to. Is there an illegal action I can do somewhere? Okay, wait. So you see all this civ looking at me? I'm lockpicking. I'll fail the lockpick. I'll do all that. That civ literally walking by. All this, and then now when rush deactivates, oh, there's no one on me anymore. Fuck, okay, I was trying to... Alright, well.
You're not allowed in here.
Kinda, I'll just get escorted out real quick. But rush would just, you can instantly open doors and civilians ignore you.
I'll show you out.
It's very convenient.
There's someone there.
If only you stayed looking at me for a second longer. This is the room that you probably want to hide everything in. My room right there. Alright, thank you. I don't really care though. Is there a camera that
Please
I can access?
stay out of the restricted areas.
So,
okay?
Now I want to show the ability of these cameras. So, I only have 2 because I'm like by myself. But say I wanted this room, okay? I could lock down that camera and then I can sorry. This camera. And then like so I could have these 2 cameras securely. I'm gonna... Oh, a guy joined. Fuck, I didn't actually want to...
a camera.
Whatever. I'll run it as if it were normal. So... Now, these cams work with me instead of against me. So this becomes very easy. Very easy to,
Hi, so, yeah, I just want to check.
Take over.
When am I supposed to push this
like
button
this,
again?
If you wanted to do
Only
things
in
in like
emergencies?
segments.
So what exactly is an emergency?
Now downstairs is
Because
like
I just
perfectly
saw
safe.
a really big cockroach.
The guard that roams up and down can still find you, but for the most part, this is perfectly safe.
Sure. Because it sounds a bit off.
Watch the sieve.
Like you could even shoot at the cams and everything, and like nothing bad will happen.
Hey, let go.
And just like that, this entire bottom floor is locked down. And you could do the same, but moving between the floors. So this is like a good chunk of this heist just done, because now you can kind of run, like these guys might see you, so you might want to be a little careful, but you could just, you could kind of run around. I would place a cam like right there, or right here. Don't kill this guy.
Watch the guard.
That guy is a problem. I really think this goes to show the power of like camera looping. The fact that just it could be so strong. And all the other perks that I have, like I don't honestly I don't know other perks. I've read every perk in this game, and I don't know other perks that you want to run. Cause like even that one camera perk is just it's not worth it. Like this is I wouldn't say it's worth it, at least compared to this. This is just like very simple, gets the job done. Also, if y'all were curious, oh, okay, well you could shoot doors open, but you can't like immediately. I remember shooting a door and then it popped open. I want them to bring that back, but what you can do, what? Maybe it's not this door. Okay, it works for that door. Maybe it's because there's like metal on that door. I don't know. This guy's a really toxic pager system. Alright, well, I hope this proved what it needed to. I'm gonna go back to, I'm gonna go back to playing the game and learning new things. I think that this beta it's taught a lot, but, I think there's still a bit more that can be learned, just a little bit. I will say, I hope this helps. This is what I personally think is the best stealth build.